Yo, yo, yo. What up, YouTube? YouTube. What's the dealio, man? It's Sunday. That means that tomorrow we get to get back in the market. All right. I'm excited about the market this week. So, yeah, we about to get it in today. If you just tuning in, man, say what's up. Say what's up. Let me know where you tuning in from. Be sure to like this video as well. All right. Let's make sure we get this video to 100 likes. All right. We about to talk about the market. We about to talk about this week. Okay. So let's get ready for that, man. This week is a short week. Okay. We got 4th of July this weekend. It falls on the 4th, I believe. Let me look. It falls on Friday. Okay. So on Friday, we got the 4th of July. And so we only got 4 trading days this week instead of 5, all right? So be mindful of that. What's up, Shiley? What's up, Veronica? How you doing? Marley, what up? What up? What's up, Josh? Yeah. So we after this week, we won't have any holidays until Labor Day. So we're gonna have about 2 months of no breaks or no holidays for 2 months. So yeah, so we're gonna talk about the market, man. Last week was a crazy week. We had all-time highs hit, right? The SPY hit all-time highs, man. So, are we gonna drop? Are we gonna go up? Where we at, right? We're gonna talk about all of that today. All right, what's up, P. Bryant Perez? What up? Genesis, what's up? What's up? QTZ, what up? Miss Virgo, what's up, Tia? RV, what up? What up? Hey y'all, be sure to like this video. Let's get this video to 100 likes. All right. We about to go in, man. All right. We about to go in. What we're gonna do for July as well is if you aren't joining Discord, because we're about to do an account compounding challenge. So we're gonna help you double your account. All right. So this month in July, let's make sure you double your account. All right. You're gonna get a 7-day trial for free. So be sure to join the Discord so you can double your trading account if you aren't already. All right. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Be sure to like this video. All right. Let's get into it. All-time highs, right? Whole market hit all-time highs. The first quarter is about to be over after tomorrow, right? The first quarter is about to be over after tomorrow. What's up, Antonio? So I want you guys to think about this. Now, these are the things you got to pay attention to, right? These are the things you got to pay attention to. I don't know if you thought about this yet, but what are the odds that the 6th month, the end of the 6th month of the year, we hit all-time highs? Just think about that real quick. What are the odds that halfway through the year we hit all-time highs? Just want you to think about that. Just want you to think about that. With everything that's gone on this year, what are the odds that we hit all-time highs at the very end of the 6th month of the year? That's halfway through the year. Y'all see what's going on right here? Right? Do y'all see what's going on right here? That's all I'm about to say. All right. So I got 3 trades, 3 plays that I'm going to share with you guys today. I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling good. So I'm gonna share three stocks to look out for. I'm gonna give y'all the levels as well, right? So I'm gonna share that with you guys. All right. So yeah. So we hit all-time highs. Let's go into the SPY. We're gonna go to the charts. We're gonna look at the SPY. We're gonna see where we at. What I'm gonna also start doing is I'm gonna start showing the IWM as well, okay? I like trading the IWM. That's my ETF of choice. All right, so I'm going to start analyzing the IWM as well, okay? If you're just tuning in, man, say what's up. Drop it in the comments. Say what's up. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And be sure to like this video, all right? Because you already know how we get down on these lives, all right? So let's go. Let's get into the SPY first. What's up, Best Beezy? All right, so let's get into the SPY first. All right, let me go to. All right, let me pull up my charts right here. Okay. This thing messing up real quick. All right. All right, cool. So let's go into the SPY real quick. So if we look at it, all right, so the SPY closed above all-time highs at 614.91, right? Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this right here. If we go back to let's go look at the 30-minute on Friday, right? Let's look at this. Look at the 30-minute on Friday. Let's look at the 15. All right, so check this out. So we hit all-time highs, closed all the way at 616, and then look what happened. This happened at 10 a.m., 10, 11, 12, 1. Okay, so a couple hours before the market closed on Friday, this joker sold off $6. All right, $6 is sold off. And then what happened? It ran right back up. Okay, so be mindful of when you see stuff like this. Be mindful. What this is telling me and how I interpret this is this wasn't supposed to happen yet, right? Which is why it ran back up so fast. And that's a little bit of manipulation if you ask me, because I'm like, what are the odds that it would come up and then it would come all the way down and then it would go from 616 down to 611. That's $5 move on SPY. Then it would bounce and it would come from 611 all the way back up to 614. That's a $4 move, right? I'm just saying, right? Things to pay attention to. Okay, so you want to look at the daily time frame and the weekly, but you also want to look at what happened that day, okay? Because that tells a story, right? So let me break this down for you, okay? So look, if we go to the daily time frame, it opened here, right? So it opened at 612.85 and it closed at 614.91, right? Okay. So this is the high of the day and this is the low of the day. But it does not tell us when in the day it hit the high and the low. Okay? So let's say that a stock hit the low, right, of day at the end of the day. That could be a sign that the stock is coming down, right? So you really want to understand, and based on where the stock closed at, did it close next to a level, next to a demand zone or whatever, right? Like you got to really understand these things, okay? So just keep those things in mind. So yeah, so we go to the SPY. What's up, Mason? I was looking at Intel on the daily and see if it Gravestone Doji. So I lost track of time. Anyone? Everyone? All right, that's what's up. Yeah, we might look at Intel. Trump cut negotiations with Canada. That's what started to sell off. Okay, and then it reversed, right? Not just stocks, but I guess that sell off. I mean that negotiation stuff. I don't know what happened, right? Because then everything just blasted off, right? If you look at Google, look what Google did on Friday. Look what it did. It came up, it's 174, came all the way down, and then look what happened. Blasted all the way off from 173 all the way to 178. Like, and this happened in the last 30 minutes of the market. Like, that's a lot of volume right there. Okay, that's a lot of volume. So I'm bullish on Google tomorrow and this week, but we're gonna see, okay? But let's go back to the SPY. So if we go to the monthly, right, let's look at the monthly. The monthly, we are looking insane. Okay, the monthly looks insane, right? We had a dragonfly right here, all right, came all the way down here, bounced, boom, catapulted, all right? So we was all the way at 482 and a half months ago, right? For the month of April. Came all the way up here, right? So we closed above this level right here of 611.40. Now, we go to the weekly. Let's look at last week. Last week looks like this. So we had, we came down a little bit. We'll try to. Held this level right here, held this structure, and then boom, all right? And look what happened. The last couple of weeks, right? When it held structure, it went to the upside. Held structure, went to the upside. So off of the weekly, that looks bullish, okay? Now if we go to the daily, look how we close on the daily. Right? Look how we close on the daily. So it looks bullish, y'all. All right? It looks bullish. I think that based on what I'm seeing, we gonna go up some more. All right? I don't think we're gonna come down just yet. I think what we gonna do is we gonna go up tomorrow, and then sometime in July we're gonna have a pullback. Because June is a historically bullish month, right? And so I think that they want to finish the month out bullish in June, or maybe go up throughout the day, and then have a slight sell-off the end of the day tomorrow. All right, this is just what I'm thinking might happen. This is a possibility based on how I know they got the end of months, right? Because we got the end of the month tomorrow, but we also have the end of the what? The end of the quarter, okay? So this is the end of the second quarter as well. So it's a lot that's about to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a very strong day in the market, whether it's to the upside or to the downside, because it's the last day of the month and the last day of the quarter. When you have the last day of the month and the last day of the quarter, you're going to have some real strong, solid moves, all right? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind right there. So I think that the SPY, I think we're going to get some bullish action. All right, now let's look at IWM. Now IWM is right here. So look at this right here. This look like a little inverse head and shoulders. Right, these are the shoulders right here. Looks like boom. All right, so we got this level right here at 217.43. All right, so you see we touched it right here and then it rejected. Okay, now IWM could go touch 224 this week, potentially. All right, everything is a potential based on if we break levels or not. Always remember that. All right, everything is potential if we break levels or not. Now, if we can get above 217.31 on the IWM and we close above there, oh, we got room to go to 224 or 225. Okay? This is off the daily time frame. This ain't even off the weekly time frame. All right, off the weekly time frame, it looks good as well, right? But off the daily time frame, oh my goodness. We get above 217, 217.40. Oh, IWM is going to blast off. All right. IWM going to blast off. All right. Now, I like IWM because no matter what account size you have, you could really, really, really make some good money with IWM. It is an ETF, right, for small cap stocks. You got same day contracts, you got next day contracts, just like SPY, right? It's a little bit cheaper. So if you got a small account, a big account, don't matter. I like IWM. You can make some really, really, really good money with IWM. All right. Philly. All right. What up, E. Pepe? Mason said 6:30. Hey, we going to see. We're going to see what happens on SPY. SPY and IWM looking good this week. Yeah. Yeah. No, they looking real good. I like how they look, all right? If you just tuning in, man, say what's up in the chat. Say what's up in the comments. And also be sure to like this video, okay? Let's get this video to 100 likes. I got 3 stocks that I'm going to share with you guys, 3 setups that I'm going to share with y'all, all right? And I'm talking money. These are money plays. The IWM is already a money play right there, all right? That's already a money play. If understand what's being said here. And futures opened up, they rose. All right, so if futures opened up in the green, tomorrow we could really see IWM go crazy. All right. If you catch a good move on IWM, You don't need nothing else. You could get 80%, 100% on a trade, right? You could literally double your money in a day off of IWM. All right. So that's where we at with IWM. We got a lot of room to go on IWM, y'all. Okay, we got a lot of room to go. So yeah. So that's where we got when we talking about the ETFs and the market and stuff like that. All right. So before we get into some of these trades and some of these plays, what are you? I want you to answer this for me. What are you focusing on this week in the market, right? What are you focusing on, and what stocks are you looking at, right? What stocks are you looking at this week, and what are you focusing on? What do you want to do better this week? All right, drop that in the comments for me. All right, I'm definitely looking at HIMS, Mason. I don't have it on my list, on this list, but I'm looking at HIMS. All right, because we got we got a real big opportunity with HIMS for sure. All right, we got a real big opportunity. But let me know, y'all, what y'all looking at this week. All right, what y'all looking at this week? What are you guys trying to focus on and get better at this week? All right, let me know in the comments. I like to make these lives interactive, right? I like to make them where we engage, all right? Because I'm about like building that real community, you know? I want to be able to look up and one day down the road, I'm in a different city and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be in this city, let's meet up, right? I want to build that community and that connection with y'all. So, you know, I like making these lives interactive, all right? So just interact with me, engage with me, all right? You know I'm gonna give you guys the game, all right? So we ain't even worried about that. P. Bryant said, I'm on IWM, I like that one. Yeah, it's a good one. Genesis says SPY puts. Okay. Contrarian. I like it. I do think the market is going to come down, but I think we might finish June bullish. All right. Ed Miller says salute. He said SPY going up. Hey, we going to see. Based on what I just said on the charts, it looks pretty strong. All right. So we going to see. Black Rose said Palantir, AMD, Amazon, trying to be consistent with the gains and not over trading. Okay. Looking at Big Bear. Okay. BBAI, I've been hearing about BBAI. All right. Mara, TSLL. Okay. Them is some bangers, especially TSLL. And look, Tesla this week has delivery reports. All right. So if their deliveries are down, Tesla gonna go down, TSLL gonna go down. If their deliveries are up, they gonna go up, and TSLL gonna go up. All right. So yeah. Quinn said I'm looking at MRK, lots of volume on Friday, HIMS and GME. Okay. I like those picks. Those are momentum ones for sure with what we've been seeing. All right. So okay. So check this out, y'all. I got a lot of stocks. Like it's so many setups. Here's the thing. You cannot have a lack of setups. All right, there's so many setups in the stock market. This morning I was looking at the charts, and last night and on Friday night I'm like, damn, like it's like 15 different setups I'm seeing, right? But I like to simplify this stuff, right? I don't want to make this stuff too crazy. All right, so I'm gonna go with the first one. We're gonna start off with the first one. All right, Mason said I'm in a lot of those stocks for swings already. There you go. I'm just focusing on discipline, getting in the market and out. Okay. You looking at efficiency. So Best B said I'm trying to be like Kevin Durant. I'm trying to be efficient. I ain't mad at it. P. Bryant said basically following y'all flow, loving the group so far, good value. Hey, salute P. Bryant. It's only gonna get better. All right, it's only gonna get better. Focusing on my account as a whole, 3 to 5% a day and done. Focusing on higher time frame plays. Hey, QT should sound like a savage. QT should, yo, that's millionaire talk right there. All right. Saying I'm looking to scout one contract at a time. Okay. There is a lot. Yep. All right. So check this out, y'all. All right. So the first stock that I'm looking at, this week is I'm about to pull it up. All right. We got, let's start with this one. All right. This is the first one I'm looking at for the week. All right. Here we go. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? We got 3 stocks. I'll probably give y'all a bonus one too. But check this out. First stock I'm looking at. Boom. No, not here. Boom. All right. Let's look at Amazon, okay? Now, if you look at Amazon, this kind of look like an inverse head and shoulders as well. But check it out. So we got this daily level right here, right? 224.13. Okay, you could move it up a little bit to right there. All right, but this is really what I'm focusing on, okay? This is really what I'm focusing on right here. So if you look at Amazon right here, okay, right there, right here, okay, and then you could even say like right here, okay? So I want you to like look at this little box right here. That's really what the focus is, all right? That's really what the focus is. So you look at right here, okay? Look at this little box, okay? This is like the structure. All right, so as you can see, so it had a break, came down and filled half of the gap, started to come up, choppy a little bit, boom, 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 came up, right? Came up here, and then it just been going up and down, right? Came up, came down, bounced off, came up, came down, 4 red days, and came up, right? Now look at this. Now we had this level right here, 218.58, right? 218.58. Now we broke above that, so we broke out of this range right here. We broke out of this structure right here, right? So I'm thinking Amazon has room to really run to 242, all right? And it was just there in February, all right? Look at this. It had a bull flag back here. Really, it had, Amazon loves bull flags, okay? So it had a bull flag here, all right? It broke out and then it came right back. But if you look at this structure right here, all right? So it had a bull flag right here and then it broke out, all right? But look, it had another one right here, okay? Boom. And then it broke out, all right? Boom, okay? And then it broke out of that one, right? And that sent it up to 240, 242, okay? And then we saw it come down, all right? And Amazon came all the way down to 163. 163, y'all, all right? We sitting at 260, 230.23 right now, all right? So now we broke out of this structure right here, okay? So I'm thinking that we gonna be going up to test this level right here, all right? To test this level right here. So if we break above, which I'm pretty sure we will, right? We break above and we close above 224.94, calls will print. They should print, all right? And I would say, if you want to be modest, you could say like 230 as a price target. All right, your first price target like 230. All right, and then we got a little gap to fill here. So then 236 and then 242. All right, I don't know how high it's gonna go, but I do have a good feeling that it's gonna go higher based off of this volume right here. Look at that volume on Friday. Look at Thursday and Friday's volume. Thursday and then Friday. Look at all of that. That's a lot of volume right there. All right. And then we got Prime Day coming up. All right. What day is Prime Day? Let's look at it. What day is Prime Day? Amazon Prime Day. Let's see. Amazon, I think it's in July. Prime Day. 2025. And it is on July 8th to 11th. Okay? July 8th to 11th. So that's Prime Day right there. All right. So I want you guys to think about that. All right. That Prime Day could drive a lot of investors to the stock and make the stock go up. You know Amazon gonna go crazy around Prime, right? So that's what we got, July 8th to the 11th. So we got that right there, all right? So that's Amazon. I'm looking at Amazon right there. I was looking on the weekend and mapped it out to 240. Yep, 240. Now, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know how high it's gonna go, but 240 does seem like the next level, right? The next target. But when I'm looking at like price targets, I like to have micro targets in between, right? I like to have micro targets in between. So also because I don't want to say it's going to go from 224 to 240, right? That's $16, right? Amazon is it's not like a Meta, right? Meta doesn't have, I mean, Meta's average day is like $15. So in a day, Meta could touch that, right? But if you look at Amazon, it on average it moves like $5 to $6, right? About $5 to $6. So to move $16, we're gonna need about 3 to 5 days of consistent volume just coming in, right? I'm not saying it's not gonna happen, but I'm just like, we gotta kind of see. Now Meta, on average, they move about $10. Okay? So Meta is it's more of a powerful stock when we're talking about its daily movement, right? So when I'm saying, okay, we got room to 240, but in between that, we got 230. From 224, we got 230, 230, 34, and then we got, 240. So if you break it down, you got $16. You could divide that into 3, and now it's every $5.30. It could be a level, right? And when we're looking at the charts, we can say, okay, this makes sense. All right. So does that make sense on Amazon, y'all? Like, let me know if that makes sense. Exactly, the average true range. You got to know the average true range of the stock you trading. Because look, what if you get in the swing, right? You get in the swing and you like, all right, my expiration date is going to be this week. And let's say it's Tuesday. Let's say the stock is filling a $10 gap right now, right? But let's say the stock's ATR, its average true range is only $1. So you like, yo, I should have got out, 3 weeks, because it may take 2 weeks. It may take, 11 to 12 days for this stock to fill this gap. If its average true range is $1 per day and it has a $10 gap to fill, right? So these are the things you got to think about, right, when you trading. So yeah. So that's the first stock, is Amazon. All right, we got a lot of momentum. Now, what's the next stock up in here? We got, oh, okay. I like this next one I'm about to share. All right. I think that this one right here, I think this could be a really, really nice banger. All right. I think this could be a really, really nice banger right here. I'm pulling it up right now. All right. Now check this out, y'all. Y'all ready for this next one? So the next trade I'm looking at this week is going to be, boom, it's going to be Lululemon. All right, ticker symbol is going to be LULU. Now, just if you look at this chart, you'll know why, right? But let's check it out. If we go to the daily time frame, right, every time that the stock has came around here, all right, It has gone crazy. All right, so let's look at it. Now, what do we call this? What do we call this? Y'all remember what we call this right here? What do we call this area right here? What do we call this area right here? Right there. Put it in the comments. What do we call this? I did a whole video live about this before. All right, if you've been with me, you remember. If you've been studying, you know what this is. What is it? What is it? It ain't a gap. This ain't a gap right here. Y'all don't remember? Talk to me. Talk to me. What do we call this right here? It's a term. This is a term right here. Come on. It's at bottom, support. Nope. Nope. Kind of support, but nah. All right. Timothy said demand zone. There we go. This is a demand zone. Okay, so let me break this down one more time. Make sure y'all pay attention to what I'm saying. All right. All right. So check this out. Okay. Check this out. So I want y'all to look at this on Lulu. So look at this. Every time the stock came down in this area, it either had a big move down or it had a big move up. Okay, so look at it. So the stock came here, came up here a little bit, and then look what happened. Boom, right? Came all the way down to 129. So it came down $100 almost. Yeah, $100, right? And then it worked its way up, right? A demand zone means that there's buyers sitting here. When you're coming from the top to the down, that's a demand zone. When you're coming from the bottom to the top, that's a supply zone. It's supply and demand, okay? So, and it came up here, it broke through. It broke through the sellers. Buyers started stepping in, and then boom, look what happened. It went all the way up to 398, okay? Really went up to 324, which is another $100. Came down a little bit, and then boom, all right? And then it traded above this demand zone for a while. This was back in 2020. Okay, so 5 years ago this happened. So 5 years ago, it didn't come back to this demand zone until 2024, last year, last summer. So a year ago. So pay attention to this. So a year ago, 1 year ago, look what happened. It came down here, okay, in this demand zone. And look what happened a year ago, right, last August. Okay, last August, it came down to this demand zone, and look what happened. It went all the way up to 422. Okay, to 422. So now we're sitting, and then look what happened. And then in April, it came down here again, right? And then it bounced, and it came up to what? 340. So it came from 235 to 340. That's a $100 move right there, right? And then look what happened. It missed earnings and it came down again. So now we sitting at 226, 235, right? So we're right back in this demand zone. So we got one touch, we got two touch, and we got the third touch. All right. And this is on the daily time frame. So look what happened on the daily. Look at the daily time frame. I'm going to make this real big for you. Look at this right here. You see this right here? This right here is a reversal candle, right? Reversal candle. Reversal candle, okay? And if I go to the RSI real quick, let me see. Is this bullish divergence? Boom, boom. Nah, it don't look like bullish divergence, but it's a demand zone, right? So if we could come down here, so it rejected off the EMA right here, right? If we can close above 237 right here, then we're gonna be good money, and we could ride this thing up. All right. Now, let's look at the weekly. If you look at the weekly, it looks even better. All right, it looks even better. Right here, bouncing off. All right, so if we see it have momentum and it breaks above this previous candle right here, it's gonna go and it breaks above 242, then we should be going up to 267. All right. So Lululemon, this looks like a great. This looks like a great trade right here, a great swing trade. All right, looks like a great swing trade. RSI, demand zone, buyer stepping up. Yeah. What up, William? Sean said tariffs might have an impact. Yeah, we gonna see, right? But at the end of the day, so here's the thing, right? Tariffs, yes, but this stock is highly is oversold at the moment. Also, it came down bad. So even if tariffs are gonna impact it, I'm looking at price action. So listen, y'all, I want you guys to understand this right here. Tariffs are gonna impact everything, and they have been, right? It's been going back and forth, but it's creating volatility. Okay, it's creating volatility. We got a couple weeks until we get an answer on this tariff stuff. But with the market sentiment, so here's the thing. I'm not saying I would be in this trade for 4 weeks, right? What I'm saying is, if I see it have momentum, I'll trade it for the whole day, and I'll be done with it. You see what I'm saying? So that's a swing trade, right? Or a day trade, whatever you want to see, right? And yeah, QT said it too. There's a fair value gap right there at the bottom as well, right? But I need you to understand that when a stock comes down to a demand zone and you start to see it bounce up, it's going up. And then when we look at the historical activity that a stock has had once it has interacted with the demand zone, you could bet that something very similar is going to happen. Okay. So yeah. RV said no $75 to $200 picks this week. Amazon ain't that expensive. Let me look at Amazon real quick. Let me see something. So if we look at Amazon, yeah, Lululemon could be a little bit pricey, but it depends on your expiration date, right? But let me see. Look at AMZN, where you at? All right, so yeah, so look at this. Excuse me. Look at this. If you go to this right here, look, their contracts is 196, right? So we talking about calls. These are under $200 right here on Amazon. If we look at Lulu, let's see. We look at Lulu, those are under 300, right? Now, if it depends on also what day you enter into a trade, okay? Because if you get into a trade, on Wednesday, they're gonna be cheaper, right? But also, I want you guys to understand this as well. Keep this in mind. If you see, so let's look at Lulu real quick. Let me break this down for y'all. All right. Look at this. All right. So look, this is real game right here. So look, so Lulu, we're talking about Friday's high. All right. So let's look at it right here. It's Friday's high. Okay. Right there. So let's say Lulu opens up at 240. Let's just say, right? And then it comes down to 236. If you see Lulu hold above there and go up, you can get into a call as it comes up. You could ride it up. And let's say Lulu comes up to 242 that day. You can exit your trade, ride that $6 ride, and take your profits. That's like a 300% trade, 400% trade, right? So when I'm giving you guys these trades and I'm giving you these levels, I want you to understand this right here. You don't have to hold them overnight, right? You got to be able to see the charts, read the price action, right? Pay attention to what's going on these charts. If you see something that you want to hold throughout the day, then do it, right? You can get next week's contract and get in today and leave today as well. The contract is to protect you. The expiration date is to protect you, right? But you ain't got to hold on to it for 3 weeks. You don't have to get contracts 2 months out unless you plan on holding it for a month. You get what I'm saying? So keep those things in mind, right? Keep those things in mind. But when I'm looking at these, all you need, let me tell you something. All you need is one day where you catch a $5 move on a stock. That will change your life. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. So all you need is one solid trade where you can catch it trending on the upward throughout that day. That's all you need. That right there is going to change the game for you. All right. So when we're looking at Amazon, when we're looking at Lulu, these are all, you can trade this throughout the day. I'm telling you what to look for, right? I'm telling you what to look for. I'm damn near putting it on a platter for you, right? And all you got to do is understand the psychology, understand the levels, understand what a pullback is, understand where a stock could come down to. If we got bullish momentum and you see it pull back, that just lets you know that it's going down to go up. You see what I'm saying? And Lulu is already down bad right now anyway. And it's in the demand zone. So if you see it going up from the demand zone, boom, right? And for furthermore, I'm going to give you some examples of these demand zones, right? So let's see. He said, crazy part is this is turbulence is making me money regardless of what happens. Exactly. When the market go up and down, that's how we get paid, y'all. That's how we get this money. All right. In January, Lulu was at 421. Exactly. And look, if tariffs will affect Lulu, then why did Nike beat earnings? And why were they up 12% on Friday? Won't tariffs affect Nike too? You see what I'm saying? They're basically in the same niche. So you got to pay attention to the sectors, right? And what's going on. Okay. Oh my bad, I was looking on Robinhood. Yeah. This is why I say, man, hey, listen, I know some people be like beginners and stuff, but like, man, go to Webull. Don't go to Webull, trade on your desktop. Okay. Trade on the desktop Webull version if you can. If you can't, I understand. But desktop Webull is amazing. And or just get Webull mobile, please. All right, Robinhood is gonna slow you down. All right. Yeah, on Thursday and Fridays I'll get contract. Exactly. Yep. All right, so let me show y'all some examples of these demand zones that I'm talking about. Okay, so look at this. Let me show y'all one that I saw, and I called this out a couple weeks ago. Look at XOM. All right, you look at the daily time frame. Look, this is another demand zone right here. Okay, look what happened. Came down here, blasted off. Came down here, blasted off. Came down here, blasted off. Y'all see what I'm saying? Now, watch this. Okay, watch this. If we go to, where's it at? Look at what I said. This was back on May the 29th, okay? On May 29th, I said this. I said a stock to pay attention to is XOM Mobile, okay? It usually goes between 100 and 120. Look at the stock at the time, right? Look at the chart at the time. It was in this demand zone right here, right? It chopped around for 4 days, and then look what happened, right? So look, this is the exact same chart. Y'all see what I'm saying? This is just after it happened, and this is before it happened, okay? This is the demand zone right here. This is the demand zone right here, right? Came down, came up, came down, came up, came down, and then look what happened. It came up. And it actually broke above here and it came up to here. All right. So this is the power of a demand zone. Y'all see what I'm saying? Pay attention to these things on the charts. It's going to make you a lot of money. Okay? It will make you a lot of money. All right? Like this is real life. This is real life game right here. Okay? So that's what I think about Lululemon, right? And everything like that. All right? So the next thing we got, right? I got one more stock, and then I'll give you guys some other stocks that I'm looking at, but they're not on my list, so to speak. All right. Some stocks that I like, right? Some trades I may take, day trades on these stocks. Okay. But let's look at this. Oh, yeah. If you're watching this, man, like this video. All right. Let's get this video to 100 likes. I'm giving you guys trades. I'm giving y'all levels. All right. I'm giving y'all free analysis. Okay. Free analysis. All you got to do is tune in. All you got to do is click a button. All right. Click a button and engage. That's all you got to do. All right. So be sure to like this video, man. Get them likes up. 100 likes on this live. Okay. We getting ready for the week. I'm giving y'all levels. Do you know how valuable it is to know the level of a stock? Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Do you know how valuable it is to get the level of a stock? To know when you should buy a stock? That is life-changing information. All right? And y'all ain't got to pay for nothing. All right? Also, be sure to subscribe. If you're not, be sure to join the Discord. You get a free 7-day trial because we're going to do an account growth challenge this month for the month of July. All right. If you want to double your trading account, then go join the Discord. Click the link in the description. All right. So, City said, I just liked and I followed. Hey, salute to you, City. All right. Welcome to the YouTube. All right. Welcome to the family. All right. Every day, every single day, I'm coming to you guys with a video or a live every single day. All right. Personal development, money, stock market, trading, all of that stuff. I have been putting out daily videos since January 1st. I have not missed a day. All right. I have not missed one day since January 1st. All right. Like real talk. Real talk. So shout out to you, City. Welcome. And we're going to keep this thing rolling. All right. So the next stock that I'm going to give you guys that I was looking at that I like, and this one is for you, RV Mac. This one is cheap right here. You're going to like this one. Okay. So the next stock is going to be, where is it at? Where is it at? We got, I'm looking for it. There we go. Applied. APLD. All right. So check this out. So on applied, on the daily time frame, it hit this level right here, okay, at 1541, right? Rejected off of it, came down, right? We didn't have some red days, came down all the way to 967. Now, look what happened. Came down to this EMA right here, came up, bounced off to 21, started to come up, right? So it tried to come down, it bounced off, and it went up. Now, if you look at the weekly, I like how the weekly looks. All right, the weekly almost came down to the 9 EMA, bouncing up a little bit, right? Now, let's go to the 30-minute on Friday, and let's look at how it interacted. So it opened up here, came down, and it came up, and then it came down. All right. So if we look at the daily, all right, boom. So on a daily, it looks like it wants to start to try to push up though. Okay. So with applied, what I'm looking at is if we can get above 1096, we could go see 1179 right here, right? 1179 right here. So above 1096 would be very attractive for me to get calls and go to 1196. And what I like about it is it came down here, right? And then it bounced. And then it's been hovering right here, okay? So it came lower and then it bounced. And then it's been going like this, right? But the only way I would get into it is if it closes above 1096. All right. We had some retracement right here, which is good. So this is a pullback right here, right? And then it hasn't pulled back lower than this previous candle, okay? So like, let's say tomorrow, if it comes down, as long as it stays above 1020, right? 1020, 1018, I'm okay to look forward to the upside for calls. All right, on the weekly time frame, this was last week, okay? So this could be an inside bar right here, and it could be a continuation, and we could potentially come down to $7, right? But with the market sentiment and everything, I think that this could be a bounce right here, and then we could bounce from here and go to the upside. All right, so, but if you see it get above 1175 or 1179, that's even better. All right, but in order for it to get to 1179, that would mean that it got above 1093 and you could ride it to that 1179. Now, if it closes above 1179, then we should be coming up to like $14. Okay? Should be coming up to like $14. All right? But I like Applied, so let's look at Applied's contracts. Right? We go to Applied. APLD. Come on now. Look at their contracts. Them things is cheap, y'all. $60, $30, $40, $30. That's cheap. All right, you could get 10 of them contracts and only be in $300. And then you could get a nice move. You know what I'm saying? And you could be solid. All right. So that's Applied. Okay. I like their setup because I think that they're gonna start recovering. That's what I think. Okay. William said Isaiah is the realest one out here. Hey, I appreciate that, William. I appreciate that. Yeah, Best Beezy been killing Applied lately. Tree said y'all be in the Discord this week. Hey, salute, Trees. We look forward to seeing you. RV said that's crazy. I'm already dancing with Applied. There we go. Waiting for the big jump. There you go. Applied, they're cheap. Yep. You can get a month out for like $150, $200. You know what I'm saying? So you can load up on them, and they could make a nice move. All right. So yeah. So another stock that I'm looking at, man, that I really like. I've really been trading. I've really been, getting some nice gains with them. This has become one of my favorite stocks right here. Right. One of my favorite stocks is right here. HIMS. Okay. Now HIMS threw us all for a loop. Okay. Now let's talk about HIMS real quick. So with HIMS, look, they was ready to blast off last week. Okay. They were ready to blast off, but some news came out with them about how their partnership and collaboration with Novo, they severed it. So their stock, they went from here, $64, right? And they dropped all the way down here, okay, to $41. If you look at the daily, all right, you look at the daily time frame, right? $61. Well, they really opened at 62. They dropped all the way down to here, okay, at 48. And then they dropped more. And then it found support right here, and now it bounced up, okay? So we have this whole thing to fill. Oh, my bad. Go to this. All right, so we got this whole thing, this whole space to fill right here. All right. And we've done this one. So we got from here. So we have a 51 to So we got $10 left. All right. We got $10 left. And we just got into the gap. All right. We just got into the gap. So it came up here, rejected off the 21 EMA right here on a daily. All right. So, but it's closed right at the 50 EMA right here. Okay. So if HIMS gets above $52, then that thing gonna fly. All right. It's gonna fly. And it could go up to next target, I would say, would be 57. All right. And then to about 62, 61, 62. All right. And if you look at the HIMS contracts, where we at? Right there. Look at that. They contracts is $180, 200. Yeah, they're not bad. They are they used to be cheaper, but as HIMS has gained a lot of popularity, so has their contract prices. All right. So yeah. But yeah, HIMS, I'm really looking at HIMS, and I'm really liking HIMS a lot, if I'm being honest. So, and then the last one that I'm really liking is Google as well, okay? Because when you look at Google, check it out. So they've been trading in this range. Okay, let me outline it for you. You got this right here. Okay, and then you got this right here. You got this right here. And then you got this right here. All right. So they've been trading in this box for a while, right? Ever since here. All right. So they've been trading in this box for a while. All right. So they came up. So this was back in May. All right. So for a month, about a month and a half. Right. So they came up in here. Then they boom, came down. This is the support level, right? So the support is 163. 163, right? So they came down here, came up, boom, reject off 200, came down, bounced up, went up here, right? Okay, rejected, came up, rejected again, came back down a little bit lower, came up, right? Then they rejected off of here, came down a little bit, tried to come up, came down. Then they came down lower, and now look, boom. So look, this came down lower, but it's about to go higher than right here, right? So it tried to come down here, but it didn't have enough steam. So I want you to think about it like a rubber band, right? The further you pull the rubber band back, the further the stock can go. So this got pulled a lot more down here, bouncing off of here, and now look what happened. Boom, right? So if we could see Google break above 181.08, I would say get, calls, okay? 181, above 181, calls. And we got to 185, all right? So we got room to go to 185 on Google, all right? So above 181, 181.02, 181.05, I'm looking at calls for Google to the upside, all right? Straight up. Google is a banger. Google is a banger. I like Google. They're a solid stock to trade. James said call option. Yeah, call option. Damn, I'm gonna have to get 200 calls, 718 open interest. I think that's a little far off the money, but yeah, I mean, listen, your trading is your trading, right? 200. Yeah, it just depends on your whole trading plan, and also how fast will the stock get there. If you get 200 call options for 718 and it makes a $5 move the next day, you could cash out. You know what I'm saying? But if it takes a week and a half to get there, then you probably not gonna get the return that you want, right? So you got to know when that stock is gonna make that move. And so like if I'm swinging, I like to really like give myself time, right? But if I'm trading for the day, then I know I could get that week's expiration or the next week because it's making that move as I expect it to. All right, to swing earnings is coming up. Our whole as a lotto. Yeah, I'm bullish on Google as well. I'm super bullish on Google because their all-time high was 207. All right, their all-time high was 207. So, and they was all the way down to 143. So I know where Google is going. Google is going up, and Google is. I read an article. It said Google creates the most wealth of the stocks that are like in this in the Mag 7, but they have the most volatility. They have the most drawdown. Okay, so whenever you see Google come down, you know that they gonna make you some money and they gonna go up, right? So they have the most drawdown of all of the major stocks, but they make the most they make people the most wealth. That's an article I read. All right. So we are ready for the week. If you guys have not subscribed to this channel, when we hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do something special. All right, I'm gonna do something special. Y'all gonna like it. All right. Be sure to join the Discord. You get 7-day free trial. If you want to get a one-on-one, be sure to book a one-on-one. Watch my video yesterday about halftime, making those halftime adjustments. Tomorrow is the last day of the first half of the year. Okay. Join us for this account compounding challenge as well. All right. I appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate y'all tapping in. We got 67 people on here right now, man. Ain't nobody doing it like this. Consistent. All right. I have not missed one day since January 1st, and we're going to keep this thing going. All right. So be sure to lock in with us. SB Tesla puts. I don't know about Tesla puts. I did not look at the chart on a live, and I'm not gonna analyze Tesla right now. All right, when I have these lives, I have a plan, and I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the plan. Okay. If you want to ask about Tesla, you could join the Discord and ask about Tesla, and we can answer those questions inside of there. All right, that's what the community is for. All right, so like I say, make sure you get up out of your head, go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right, and also remember, the more you study, the less you worry. All right, for sure, V. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on the Discord. We're gonna get this money this week. Everybody have a great night. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow on tomorrow's video. I appreciate y'all time. Peace.